Good morning, everyone. So glad that you're here. It's another Monday. Are we excited? Oh my goodness, people are coming in. I'm so excited for today. Today is a very special topic, and you all love the topic. It's gratitude. But what we're going to do is get inside gratitude and really see the impact with our special guest, Kimberly Lechnick, today. So as you come in, let me sing you in with a little tune so that we can get our resonance just right. And here we go. Are you going to Scarborough Fair? Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Remember me. Uh-oh, something's wrong here. Sorry, you guys. Let's try it again, okay? Thank you for your patience, and I don't know how to cut it out, so we'll try again. That's not happened before. Are you going to Scarborough Fair? Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Remember me to one who lives there, who once was a true love of mine. Tell him to make me a cambric shirt. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Without no seams, no needlework, then he'll be a true love of mine. Tell him to find me an acre of land. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Between the salt water and the sea strands, then he'll be a true love of mine. Tell him to reap it with a sickle of leather. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. And gather it all in a bunch of heather. Then he'll be a true love of mine. Are you going to Scarborough Fair? Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Remember me to one that lives there, who once was a true love of mine. Wow. Well, good morning, everyone. I do love Simon and Garfunkel. I'm so glad you're all here. And without further ado, I want to introduce you all to our guest teacher and so that you get to know her and she gets to know you. So let's welcome to the stage Kimberly Lechnick. Good morning, Kimberly. How are you?
I am doing wonderful. Thank you so much, Leslie. And thank you so much for the invitation.
Absolutely. Totally my pleasure. And, gratitude is one of our favorite topics, but there's a lot to it. And I have to tell you all, I'm going to acknowledge you right now, but I have to tell you that of all that I've learned, and people do talk about gratitude a lot, but it's the actual implementation. Right. How do you implement it in your life so that you feel that way, so that you're vibrating that way? Because we know what it is, but how do you actually employ it? And that's Kimberly's specialty. She is working on a program right now where she's evolving her program to bring everybody to that point of really getting clear on the value and impact of a way of living based on gratitude, right, Kimberly?
Absolutely. It's interesting as I was hearing you speak about it, Leslie, it's a state of being, right? I think it's a state of being. And when you really approach it from that standpoint, you really experience it differently, right? For me, I don't know any other way of being other than being grateful.
And what's interesting about it is nobody actually is always grateful. There is no stasis in a mindset, right? I mean, there are moments when you're not grateful. For me, the idea, and tell me if you align with this, is to do it so consistently that it becomes your dominating thoughts, right? As much as possible. The aspiration is to always be grateful, but you can't always be grateful because of the nature of how we're built. What are your thoughts on that?
I actually beg to differ on that point.
Okay. Okay.
Again, uh, not everything was roses and sunshine for me, is not always roses and sunshine for me. But I do come from the standpoint that everything is for us.
Oh,
Nothing's
I
happening to us.
yes.
Everything is happening for us. And
Yes.
because of that, I know that whether it's something that's pleasant or unpleasant, it's for
Mhm.
me. Now, in the moment, I have been able to shift to being grateful for it.
And that's my point. My point is that no one is there 100% of the time, that the shifting is required. I guess I should have made that more clear. It's our aspiration to always shift, to always, know that there is a lesson inside the negative. On the other side of it is gratitude. I get that. Okay, let's say hello to everybody. We do agree. I just wasn't as clear, and I'm glad that you said what you did so that we could get on the same page. Speaking of on the same page, so Kimberly, I don't know whether it's Mercury retrograde, but both of us showed up an hour early today. Both
There's
of
a
us.
reason. There's a reason for that. There's no accidents, there's
Right,
no
right,
coincidences,
right.
everything's divine. But I see that there's so many of your community that are coming in. I see Lisa Fevick. Hi, Lisa. It's so good to see you
Yeah,
today.
we are definitely, well, anyway, what happened was we were on the same wavelength and we came in an hour early. Well, that gave me a chance to do a few things, Kimberly to do, but I was trying really hard to go live an hour early and, StreamYard just pushed back. So, yes, there's Deb who keeps dropping off. If you know the YouTube link, you can watch it on YouTube. Please drop it here in the comments. Hi, Deb. So glad you're here. And Deb, you'll love what we were talking about. I've missed you. Deb and I have studied landmark education throughout our career. And what we've discovered, Deb, Charles Caldwell came in and he had quite a significant role with landmark education. And so we've noticed now that people are coming in that have had similar training. So be ready for us to have a landmark day. Also, Catherine Chadwick. So I think if we all put our heads together, and it was also, let's see, Catherine, Susan. Oh, and then it was also the work of Mary Morrissey, right? A lot of people had trained with Mary Morrissey. So we're going to do that. Anyway, hi, Deb. So glad you're here. And I hope you know Sharon Byrne. Do you know Sharon? She's
Yes, I know Sharon. She's
good.
amazing. Absolutely
Yes.
amazing woman.
Yes, she's an author and is now focusing on, and she's a coach, and she's focusing on helping people deal with their finances. And particularly, I've noticed that she's talking about college age. And I think I mentioned to you, I just bought this for my two granddaughters that are going into university next year, The Little Book of Scholarships by Nancy Paul. So Sharon, you're going to want this because this woman had three daughters and not a penny in her pot, right? And she was determined. She had a burning desire to get them into good schools with full rides. And she made it her mission and her purpose for a big, long period of time and wrote this book. And it's how you do it, how you get scholarships. It's the process. So I love what Sharon's work is, what she's doing. And also, Sharon, I don't want to forget that you're a best-selling co-author international, right? So congratulations and thanks for being here. All right, let's see. Dr. Marcia is here. You know Dr. Marcia? Yeah, Dr. Marcia, 8 a.m. Eastern, Tuesday mornings. She has a live that I absolutely love, Leading with Light. So thank you for being here, Dr. Marcia. Let's see here. Now I'm seeing an orange strip, which means you're on YouTube, but I'm not seeing your face. So this is got to be something with my, right? I don't know what's going on. But anyway, so glad you're here.
I'm glad see you.
You can see her name?
Yeah.
Can you see her face?
Yes, I can.
Then it's got to be my resources. Anyway, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dr. Marcia. See you first thing in the morning. Thanks for being here. And here is 𝐼𝙢𝙗𝙤𝙤𝙤𝙤. Hi, Adrian. I'm very happy to see you. You're usually a team replay. So, or is that Friday? Well, I'm just glad to see you here. Adrian is a big supporter, and she was one of our featured attendees a week or two ago. So thanks for being here. And Deb, oh, yeah. So you went over to YouTube. Oh, yeah. So thank you. If anybody is on YouTube, please drop the link so that if it drops off here on LinkedIn, you can go over and catch it. Thank you for that, Deb. Good to see you. And here's Susan Walsh. Susan was with us last week. She'll be coming back next week. And she's all about vision. Susan and I have known each other for 20 years. When I first, it was 2000, I was thinking about this. It was 2008. No, it was 2007, Susan, when I opened a meetup called The Secret Society, right after the movie The Secret came out. And I started having these monthly meetings because I was fascinated with it all. And Susan's son-in-law and daughter were there and brought her. And it's been 20 years now. Well, 17, in 2 years, it'll be 20 years. So it's 18 years. Thanks for being here, Susan. Appreciate you. And here's Nicole. Hi, Nick. So good to see you. I'm glad your schedule. Nick is publishing 2 anthologies, and I'm in one of them. I know, like right now. So Nicole is the owner and publisher for Guided Brilliant Writers Publishing House. And she has done a number of legacy anthologies for people to leave the stories for their children, right? Each year at the end of the year. And she does other anthologies. And she also does individual books. So having worked with her in publishing myself, I would say that if you're interested in being a writer and starting off with a contributing writer, Nick would be the person to talk to because she usually has 2 or 3 anthologies going each year. Thanks for being here, Nicole. So glad you're here. Lots of excitement coming up in the next couple of weeks. And here is our darling Leanna from Duluth, Minnesota. Be sure you connect with her. You know
Yeah.
Leanna? Yay! Well, Leanna there's a lot more to her than I talk about, right? She actually is the woman in diabetes care.
Mm.
And I looked a little deeper, and I think that there's always going to be work for you, Leanna, because overweight due to diabetes in our country. So we're grateful. I'm grateful for you for coming each week and contributing, and also for the work that you do. So thank you. And okay, you know her. Do you know Tracy?
I have met Tracy in a couple of, believe it's Dr. Sheets. He was doing some meetings, and Tracy and I connected through that group.
Yeah, Tracy has a 1:00 on Wednesdays, the Voice of Business live show. And so if any of you are doing a live show, want to do a live show, even if it isn't every week, let's say you want to start out with every other week, I can help you learn to do all that. But more than that, I can put you in our weekly carousel, which has all the lives that I'm aware of. And it's published every Monday, so you can keep up. And it's featured on my profile each week. So you can keep up with who's doing what, because there's a lot of great value. And the reason I did this to start with was because I couldn't find a place where I could get LinkedIn to show me all the events that I might be interested in. So I did it for myself initially, and that was 2 years ago. And we're now in week 47 this year. And so it's a very good way, I think. And everybody's using the DM this way. And last week we focused on Merrill Cass as our attendee of the week. And he also plugs us in to other DM groups. So we figured out a way, right, to keep each other going and alert. And people repost it, and it gets to all their connections. So it's wonderful. And here is Sajid Kumar. Thank you, Tracy, for being here. Oh my goodness, look at the size of this. Ooh, reading this, gratitude isn't just a pleasant feeling, it's seen as a powerful mind enhancer. When you embrace gratitude, it's like your brain gets an upgrade. Actually, I would say mind, but both could work. You become more nimble in thinking, more adaptable to change. I call that agile thinking. I love it, Sajid Kumar. And generally more resourceful. Being grateful doesn't just make you happier, it makes you sharper, broadening your capabilities and opening doors to more opportunities and success. This isn't just a nice thought. It's a transformative mental practice. 100%. Well said. Sajid Kumar is up in Toronto, and he is a recruiter and in HR, and he keeps his fingers on the pulse of what's going on in HR. So Sajid Kumar, I'm so glad you're here. It means a lot to me because I know what your schedule is like. I can tell. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, it came in twice. You must not have seen it. Okay, no problem. Oh, look, Wendy is here. Did you miss the song? Oh, you didn't miss the song. Hi, Wendy. When you guys reply that you will attend, this is where I pick up invitations. So each week I go back 1 or 2 events and invite everybody that said they would attend. Now, I know you're all not going to attend. I get that this is support. We all get that you'll be here if you can. So if you missed a couple of invitations, it's likely because, and sometimes with Wendy, I forget you when I see your name, then I got to go put it back in. So just say yes. I only send out less than 100 invitations, and about half of you say you'll attend, and more than half attend. So I'm very happy with the group that has been here because I know you're learning every week. And that's the most important thing. So Wendy, so glad you're here. And here's Dr. Tanya. Now, this is extremely unusual. I am so happy to see you, Dr. Tanya. You know Dr. Tanya? Yes, she's
I
a head.
I I had the pleasure of connecting with her. I think we were connected here on LinkedIn, but I actually got to talk to her a little bit on Clubhouse. So it's good to see you, Dr. Tanya.
Yes. Well, she and Damian Kinsey, two very fine people, created the 2350 Network, a personal development platform. It started here. Now, it's not on this platform.
Mhm.
And if you know me, I do very little off LinkedIn, mostly because of the time, right? And
Mhm.
staying focused. However, that is one group that I have really enjoyed being a part of. There's a minimal fee, but it's a beautiful campus and there's all sorts of things going on. And in fact, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, will be part 2 of, if you want to join, part 2 of the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People book study. And
Oh,
we
I love
started
book
last week
studies.
and I'm leading it. So, but you got to be a member. That's the only trick. Anyway, I'm so glad you're here and you got the day off. That's even better. I'm so glad you like this song. Thank you. Thank you, Susan. All right, let's see who else is here because we got to move along. You know, I spent a lot of time doing this because I just love seeing you guys. This is my life. Besides my family, you guys know that I had a stroke earlier this year and lost the vision in my right eye. So I'm not driving anymore. So, but everybody's driving me. So I used to be Uber Nana with my 4 grandchildren, but they all have licenses now. Right. So now they come over and we get out the scooter and we walk around the neighborhood and they take me out to lunch. And so it's really kind of extraordinary that even that, it didn't stop me for a minute because I had 1 second where I thought, well, I won't be able to edit a book. And then Nick gave me a book that was 400 pages and I did it.
Did you read that? I did not know that you had a stroke. There's a terrific biography. I believe she was a neuroscientist who actually was an observer of her stroke.
Mm.
She
No,
was
I didn't.
actually she was actually observing while this was all happening to her.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I don't know if I go back. I mean, I was pretty clear, right? Because
Mhm.
my mind did not go off to, oh my God. It went to
Mm,
gratitude. I
mm,
still have another eye. I believe in karma and that this was a wake up call for me. So I immediately began to look for the benefits. Well, now they're Ubering Nana around. Right? I used to be Uber Nana. So that's what Kimberly was mentioning is that, you know, in order to be in a state of gratitude, grace, if you will, you have to be aware and catch yourself not being grateful, right?
mhm,
Thinking something that isn't grateful, then you actually use the law of polarity, but coaches call it reframing. It doesn't matter. But the
mm.
more times you do this, the better you get at it. So I'm glad you like this, Adrian. All right, let's see who's here. Ashif is here. Ashif is an amazing thought leader. I call him my 21st century Rumi. He posts the most wonderfully profound, thought-provoking, simple things to think about. And he's a marvelous supporter. So thank you, Ashif, for being here. Yes, 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 yes. I'm Dr. Marcia. So glad you're here. Now there's Meryl. Meryl, you weren't here last week, I don't think, and you were the featured person. And I gave you a little, or not a little, a very nice Captain Sailor hat to wear. So go back and look at last week at the very beginning. Okay. So glad you're here. Meryl is the other person who helps feed us, all the hosts, to keep us up to date with things. And sometimes he does things on Clubhouse, right? And other
Yep.
platforms, right? But
Mhm.
mine is specifically LinkedIn and YouTube, Facebook, anything else, but it's here. Um, so yeah, Meryl, thanks for being here.
Hi,
And for
Meryl.
all you, yeah, for all you do. And here's Lay. Have you met Lay Scheidel?
I have not. We need to connect. We absolutely need to connect. We haven't had an opportunity just yet, but it's good to see you, Lay.
Yes, Lay is on the West Coast, so I know you're up early, my friend Lay. And she is an official drone operator. She's a digital artist and video artist extraordinaire. And as I've said so many times, she and her partner have created Integrate Art for the schools, which teaches the
Mm,
children and the teachers how to integrate art into every subject, not just the art subject. And I just so love that. I totally
I love
do.
that.
And there's Lisa Fevik every other Tuesday afternoon, Menomorphosis Dialogues. Lisa, have you seen on Instagram, there's a group of women all about menopause and they say, we really don't care anymore. These are people that are in menopause. We just don't care that much anymore. And so list all the things that we used to care so much about, but we don't care anymore. Hilarious. But menopause, we think that it's a short period. It can be up to 30 years. Not for everybody, but you got pre, peri, and after. And it's important to know, Lisa's a registered dietitian, that certain foods, if you stay toward certain foods and stay away from others, it helps regulate your system during these hormonal changes. And there's our darling. So thank you, Lisa, our darling Sandra Bote. And she is an international best-selling author. She's an NLP practitioner. You know Sandra, right?
Just from your community. I've just connected with her through your community.
Excellent. She is an NLP practitioner and hypnosis also. She was one of our first guest teachers, and I'll definitely having her back. And yes, Ashif says gratitude is indeed the intention.
Mhm.
Here's what Lee says. Lay says, excuse me. In the midst of our turmoil, we're not able to be grateful, but we can later learn from what was happening and make that lesson a positive and be grateful for it. Yes. And when you can do it on the fly, like it takes practice, because sometimes you don't realize it until after the fact. But if you can catch yourself on the fly, like if you stub your toe, you were
Mhm.
thinking something negative. You were not focused on the positive. Your cellular vibration lowered. And I thought I was the only one. But in one of my trainings, I mentioned that and someone else said, "Oh my God, that happened to me too." And anytime I stub my toe, my mind is not focused on gratitude or positivity. I can actually track what I was thinking about. It's usually being angry with my ex-husband. Right? That's usually
Oh,
what it
wow.
is. Yeah. I mean, you can. I mean,
That's
because it happens,
interesting.
especially if it happens more than once with the same thinking, right? I'm wandering around and I'm thinking, oh, he did this and blah, blah, blah. Bam. Right. I don't need to be thinking about that because it just makes me feel bad. Okay. Lay. Let's see what else we have. I better hurry up here because it's 10:30. All right. Hello. You know this man?
Yes, Patrick. It's good to see you, Patrick. If you're still with us through the introductions, it's good to have you here. If you don't know Patrick, you really need to reach out and have a connection call with him. He is fantastic, and I think he was just recently completed a wonderful platform for business owners. So
Excellent.
definitely check it out. Hmm.
Thank you, Patrick, for being here. And that's wonderful. And our wonderful Christy D. Williams, she is a customer service professional in all areas of her life. It's fantastic, right? All right. I'm going to pass through these. There's Mark. 1 second. I got to Mark Thumar calling in from India. So glad you're here, my friend. And I'm looking for new people because we've just had such a fabulous time. There's Aaron Ibsen. Aaron's in Calgary, and he is responsible for that beautiful intro. Whenever
Mhm.
you see that, he's a genius with intros. So thank you, Aaron. You're not here. Okay, so you must be working. I got it. And on Friday nights, he does at 8 p.m. the Soul Man Live. All right, he's coming in saying hello to everybody. All right, I think we're good for now. I've got to go off.
Oh, you know what? Oh, okay. Oh, I wanted to shout out Jay. Jay, I see you. Hola, hola to you. If you haven't connected with Jay, please connect with him. He's absolutely amazing, and he's looking for podcast opportunities right now. So I would definitely connect with him, and he would be definitely the person to connect with. And I see a couple others that are new. Stanley's here, Leslie.
Is our first and most wonderful sponsor. Aaron's not here. Hi, Stanley. So glad you're here today. Stanley is the CEO and president of Power Thinking Corp, a wonderful personal development program that fits really well with what we're doing here. You know, I believe that all the concepts that we talk about and that we're teaching are the same. They're just at a different point in time or evolution in our understanding of them. And we get better and more simplified as we get older, right? The more we stay with it. This is why I believe at some point we have to stop ourselves from reading too many books and get into one and deep study, right? Deep study. So, all right, let's see who else. Joni's here. Hi, Joni Argrave is here. Oh, I just loved her. And here's Linda. Linda is here. She just got certified as a coach. Linda Meyer. I know. And Joni is the hidden genius in the room, right? She's the one that has all these businesses that you'd never guess. Usually male dominated. And she just floats in there, you know, looking gorgeous and sweet.
I love
and
it.
Then, and punches and shows them who's boss. That's what I love about Joni. Oh, water. Thank you. That isn't what I meant to do. Hold on. It's Sean. Okay. Thank you. I got some. Hi, Sean Michael. He's on at noon, Monday Mind Shift. And he has been a guest here and will be again if he agrees. I would love it. All right. Ready? So let's get into this. You know what this looks like, you guys, right? So this is where we begin. And now, let me see if I can get us to the place I want to be. Hold on a second here. All right, well, it's going to be this one. Here is our wonderful supporter of the week. This is the most wonderful Leanna Stock. And let me just tell you a little bit about Leanna. Let me just give me 1 second here to get myself situated. All right, here we go. Well, I don't know. Oh, here we go. Here it is. Now, Leanna, I always talk about Leanna in terms of the picture she takes. She's in Duluth. And I just love the picture she takes out her back door. But what we don't know is she's also a co-author of a Rattled Awake anthology. She is a registered dietitian and a diabetes care and education specialist. And you went to the Mayo School of Health Scientists. I worked for one of the endocrinologists, Larry Riggs, from the Mayo Clinic. And that is the place to be. Now, not only that with Leanna, she went to the College of St. Scholastica and got her bachelor's in dietetics and dietitian. She's a certified diabetes educator, licensed dietitian. And so I think it's important for us to know more about the people that are supporting us. And so, Leanna, thank you so much. I totally appreciate you and always being here. Yes. Oh, good. So that's our beautiful person on week. She's count honorable. And because your picture cut off the top of your head, you now have a matching silver crown, which is perfect for you.
It's beautiful.
All right. All right. So let me just see here. I'm going to take this out for just a moment. And I want to tell you a little bit about Kimberly. Now, Kimberly is a certified relationship coach in emotional healing and confidence. And she's for ambitious women in midlife. But what I can tell you is that she can help you no matter where you are. If you're not in midlife, if you're a little younger, right, you could do that. But that's kind of the area she loves. And her mission, as I understand it, is to empower ambitious professional women in midlife to rediscover their self-worth, which I'm sure gratitude has something to do with it, and build meaningful, fulfilling relationships, starting with the one they have with themselves. And she is now today going to share with us her work, her body of work, which she uses with her clients, right? And very effectively. So without further ado, before we get into that, what are we looking at here, Kimberly? You know, while you're looking at this picture and figuring it out, I want to tell you some fun things about Kimberly, because part of the first visit here is so that you get to know her better, so that you feel a resonance. We don't resonate with everybody, but if you resonate with Kimberly, this may go a long way. So she loves visiting art museums, and her favorite artists are Van Gogh and Klimt, K-L-I-M-T. And they're very different because, right, Kimberly, Klimt is sort of modernistic and Van Gogh is impressionist. Am I correct?
Yes, absolutely. But you know, for me, again, it's no surprise. I'd like a whole host of other artists. I just pinpointed those because I actually have a print of Gustav Klimt's Kiss, the Kiss. I just love that painting. I've loved it
That's the
for
sideward
years.
one, right? That's the one that's horizontal.
And he's got, they're wrapped up in this beautiful gold blanket together.
Mhm, mhm,
and
mhm.
and it's just so warm and cozy, and it's in my bedroom, and I love it. And the other is just an example, because I have Monets. I mean, again, these are prints.
So
I
you
have
like
the Monet.
French impressionist?
Yes, I love it, and I could be in the art museum for a really long time, so thanks for sharing that. I get
Sure. And you
excited
like
about it.
Renoir. So who are these people that we're looking at?
Okay, so there was this is very intentional, and why I shared it, because of course those of you who do know a little bit about me know that my kids are older now. So the picture in the corner of my family is one
This one?
of my really memorable Christmas. Well, actually, our one of our memorable Christmases, and that's my son Noah with the Santa. So yeah, that's a
This
Christmas.
one.
We like,
Okay.
and then that's my husband and I, Jim, and he's wearing a Santa shirt that says "Don't Stop Believing." As you can tell, intentionally I shared this because we love Christmas. There's a lot of reasoning behind that, which I won't get into it, but that is one of our favorite holidays. We've spent a lot of time celebrating, doing just just so many things. Love it. And it's very meaningful. And then the picture in the corner is us in Hawaii, our favorite place to go. And so we had just climbed up, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to sit down. But we just climbed one of the mountains, and we were walking on some lava, and so that's us. And that was our first trip that we were able to take the boys. So I've been there 6 times. And this was the time that we got to take the boys. Ethan had gotten to go one time prior, but this was Noah's actual first time
Awesome.
going. And
Awesome. Well,
so
now
we're excited.
you love kayaking. Were you able to get in the water in Hawaii, like on the catamarans and all of those boats?
We've done the night cruises and the day cruises. We've done fish. No, we haven't done fishing in Hawaii. We do the whale watching. There's so many different things, but we have not kayaked yet there. So that is on the list.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So now you know a little bit about Kimberly, and if I'm not mistaken, you also do ballroom dancing. Am I correct? See,
I
she didn't
do.
send that to me, but I remembered
Yep,
ballroom
I do.
dancing. Really?
I love
Okay.
I love it. I love it. And I'm looking forward to doing another competition. I've
Awesome.
done a couple competitions, and I'm looking forward to doing another. But yeah, I love ballroom.
I think that's awesome. All right. So now look, this it makes up what Kimberly is working on to bring gratitude down to an understandable practice with a lot of different pieces of information. Now, today, the first thing she's going to do is give you a brief overview of each one of these 5 elements, to what she is studying, what she is deep inside of, to bring to us gratitude. And your comments will help her. And also, for what you've learned from her, some of these things may have resonated with you. You may also have done these things. So you'll
Mhm.
see, you'll have an opportunity to actually speak with her this week if you'd like to, or next week. And so that's why we do this part of it, right? That you get to know her a little bit better, because we can all read your profile, but we didn't know about, the kayaking, and that I knew about the dancing. So what I'd love to have you do is to give us a brief overview of what each one of these means, what the vision is for each one of these. Would you please, my dear? Take it away.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Leslie.
Of course.
So the first point is that gratitude builds trust and connection. So I know that you found yourself in a space where you're either working in a community, you have, a business, so you have a team, but there's so much study that is showing us that it actually builds trust and connection. So by expressing that genuine connection, we're fostering greater relationships, and our team members, whether it's community, whether it's in our homes, it helps them, or helps us create a culture, if you will. It helps us create a culture of openness. And I know Leslie and I talked about this earlier, psychological safety. Some of us may know what psychological safety is. We may go, yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. And others of us may be in a different level of awareness. And then we have the fact that gratitude enhances emotional intelligence. It enhances our emotional intelligence. So what does this mean? Well, in this instance, I believe all of us that I've had the pleasure of meeting or not, that is part of Leslie's community here, knows that they're leaders, and leaders who practice gratitude are more self-aware and empathetic. And what this allows us to do is it enables us to be more thoughtful rather than impulsive. I see Jay. Hey, Jay, good to see you. Then we go and we are talking about
Okay, wait a
gratitude.
second, wait a second, wait a second. I
Go
gotta
ahead.
ask you a question real quick. So
Sure.
you said thoughtful instead of impulsive. Does this relate to reactive as opposed to responsive? Okay, because that's one of the
Absolutely.
right. It's okay. I love that. What are those two words again that you just
I'm
spoke?
sorry.
What were the two
Reactive
words?
and impulsive.
No, the words that you used. You. Oh
I'm not
shoot.
sure where you're.
It was well. I related it to respond and react. You
And I
used
used, yeah, and I
impulsiveness,
used impulsiveness. Yeah, thoughtful and impulsivity.
thoughtful and impulsiveness. Okay, so thoughtful is your faith, impulsive is your fear. Thoughtful is your higher side, higher vibration. Um, thoughtful is the fear, impulsive is the fear.
Yes.
Faith, right? Okay, so I just want to get that clear. Go on. Sorry.
No, absolutely, absolutely. And then we have gratitude fueling motivation and performance. So, what does this mean? It means that when we acknowledge contributions, this boosts our morale, our productivity across the organization. And again, we can apply this principle to our homes. Right? When our kids are feeling like we are appreciative of them, they're going to do more. They're going to ask curious questions. They're going to lean in. They're going to be part of the team. And
Got it.
then we're going to our fourth one, which is that fact that gratitude shifts us from scarcity to abundance. I know for a fact now, based on my level of awareness, that this life is abundant, but gratitude helps us get there. So gratitude shifts us from scarcity to abundance. Leaders who actually focus on what's working inspire optimism and resilience, even in the challenging times. So, again, moving from scarcity to the fact that we're abundant. And then, last but not least, the fact that gratitude multiplies influence.
I love it. Are you frozen? You appear to be frozen. It certainly
When
does.
leaders lead with gratitude, they inspire about gratitude. What we know about gratitude or leadership, excuse me, is that it's influence, nothing more, nothing less. And we know that from John Maxwell. But people follow you then because they want to, not because they have to. Moving from that top down mentality to just wrapping our arms around our people, right? It's a different feel.
I
So
love it.
back to
I
you,
love
Leslie.
it. I love it. And I would say that influence is the best we can do. The only thing that I've learned, Kimberly, that we can actually control as human beings is what we think, how frequently we think it, and how we're feeling when we think it. So if we adopt a state of gratitude, then we're always looking for gratitude in others and from others. So both are there, right? Both the devil and the angel are there. Both the reactive and the responsive are there in all of us. It is the ability to choose, which Sajid Kumar was mentioning, this agile, this ability to be aware, stop yourself, and choose what your next thoughts are going to be. And it even gets better, because it gets better when you have several different viewpoints and based on the context. So, right. So you can still tell your point to a bunch of firemen and make the same point to a bunch of physicians, right? But you wouldn't be talking about the fire incident. You would be talking about something that relates to them. So that's where you want to go. All right. Let's move right on. That was fantastic, Kimberly. All right. So today what we're going to do, and the time is wielding, we've got a couple of things to do, but this week we want to get through number 1 and number 2. So tell us a little more about, and the teaching points, a couple of them, about this first topic. And when she comes back, we're going to go back over these again, and we'll do more time in the teaching and less time in the schmoozing. So go ahead and take it away. Kimberly, let's do number one, please.
Absolutely. So gratitude builds trust and connection. So what we know about it is it fosters stronger relationships, right? So I want to give you an example. I want you to think about saying thank you. I want you to say observe your body when you say thank you, not just when you use the two words, but what happens in your body when you say it. Because when it's coming from a place where you're really meaning it, right? Because our bodies don't lie, right? I just posted something with actually reposted something on my Instagram, and the two humans were just rotating, right? It's, we're all energy and we could feel each other's energy. So it's when you say thank you and really mean it, people experience that in their body. This is what we're talking about when we're talking about building trust and connection. It's about being your authentic self. What does that mean? They then, in terms of trust, they begin to feel safe around you, right? They begin to feel safe. And that's important because trust is not given, it is earned. It is earned.
And would you say that actually that people tend to expect it once they
Yes.
know you? Would you say that they would expect it? So it might be a surprise the first time, but part of the reason that I am grateful to everybody that's here is because I know for sure that when you tell me something good about myself, how I show up for you, it's very often better than I think, because we do have certain fears and we are all working on confidence. So I think that you're going to get into that more, but not today. But would you say that's a fair assessment, so that now people expect to hear how great they are? Right? What do you think?
Well, what they say about our expectations. It never turns out. So expectations, I don't know, but I would agree with you that a lot of people do expect. But anyway, we talked a little bit earlier about psychological safety, right? This is what this principle does. It actually builds that trust and connection. So as we're building the relationship, right, it's a building process, right? And a lot of times we find ourselves in that repair. So we're connecting and then we're building. We're connecting and then we're building. It happens over time. It's not something that happens overnight.
Yes, yes, yes. Excellent. All right, now let's move on. So you guys got that, what she's talking about? Excellent. And I know it's minimal, but you can go back and listen to this last half hour to get this again. But I do want to take a moment to absolutely acknowledge our sponsor. So it shows you how good I am at this, not so good. A special shout out to Stanley, because what I want you to see here is that if you scan this QR code, you will have 30 days free on the Power Thinking app. And this, let's see if I can make it little again. I don't know what happened to all my views. Let's do this. Yeah. This is the contents of the Power Thinking app. And you can see, like, my favorite is the notifications, Right. I want him to put it at the top, but I guess he has A for account first, which makes sense. So the cool part about this is that everything you need with Power Thinking, which is a wonderful, resilient skill building program, Stanley has a show live here on LinkedIn and in YouTube and Facebook at Wednesday morning, 7:30 a.m. Eastern,
Oh, okay.
and also 9:30 p.m. Eastern. And he always puts in a wonderful video to review, so that that's what the discussion will be. And also he has people calling in by phone. So it's wonderful. And I encourage you to scan the QR code, give the product a month, try it out, test it out, and we will go on from there. Thank you, Stanley, a million times for your confidence in what we're doing here. And Stanley has spoken and taught here, and he will be back again. I hope I can book him before the end of the year to come back. All right, so let's go ahead and move on with number 2. We're getting really down to the wire. Everyone, please be patient. We're going to go a few minutes over, and this is my fault for doing this and for taking so long. But please spend a few minutes and explain how emotional intelligence is enhanced when we maintain gratitude. Please, Kimberly.
Absolutely. So gratitude enhances emotional intelligence. What is emotional intelligence? For those of us who don't know, it's the ability to understand, use, and manage our emotions. For me, it's actually emotional mastery. It's just another word to say that. It's emotional mastery. So when we understand that leaders who regularly practice gratitude, right? We're peeling back the layers here. Leaders who regularly practice gratitude are more self-aware. I don't know about you, but I have a growth plan for the year. And this is on the growth plan.
I love it.
It is on the growth plan. So we're attuned, we become more attuned, we're more aware, we're more empathetic. It's building a muscle thoughtfully rather than impulsively. Again,
Ah,
gratitude
yeah,
enhances emotional intelligence.
that's fantastic. Thank you so much. And we're down to the last couple of minutes. Hang in here. Now, Kimberly, I have so loved having you here, and I want to book you to come back and spend more time on these subjects. But, since you now know Kimberly a little bit, I think that it's time for you to consider, if she resonates with you and you're thinking, oh, I want to talk more about this gratitude. Then you can text her, which I find rather unusual, but I love that about you, right? It's like both of us showing up an hour early. So you can look at her website, paperbell.me, Kimberly-Lechnick, or you can text her and just tell her where, right, who you are and where, and she will take care of you. And I think that is the most important thing. So with that, Kimberly, I want to thank you so much for being here, and that you will come back in the next few weeks to pick up on this conversation and get more deeply focused on it.
Absolutely. And I just want to thank you, Leslie. It's an absolute honor, and I am very honored to have accepted this invitation and for you to have extended it. I too love teaching. It's
I
part
know
of
you
my
do.
work.
I know, I know. And, any of you out there that want to do this, I will help you formulate, what there is to say and teach, because we have to hear it from many different people, the same concepts, because we're more aware now in this very moment than we were before we logged on. So
Mhm.
as we hear these things again, they're going to show up newly and differently. Oh, I never thought of it that way. Right? So I'll invite you to consider that emotions and feelings are two distinct things, and we'll talk about that, Kimberly. It's the mastery of our nervous system. What you're right. So anyway, thank you for being here. I'm going to move you into the studio. Any last words to our lovely audience who has been so attentive?
Well, first and foremost, I can't wait to get into the comments and interact with you.
Yes,
Again,
please.
it is about relationship building. But again, I just want to hone in on what Leslie just said in regards to the repetition. It is important to hear the message from many different people because we're not all going to resonate with one specific person. And the goal here is that you do receive the information.
Yes, I couldn't have said it better.
Here for a
Okay, so she appears frozen to me.
I'm
And
back.
You're back. You're back.
Yeah, so I'm so excited to be able to come back and continue to speak about this because I too really want everyone to get the information wherever they need to get it. And if it's from me, great. If it's not, if it's from you, if it's from Sandra, awesome. But the important part of it is that you get it because again,
Absolutely.
we're here. We're better in community than we are in isolation. And I think that's really important.
Oh, look, OG slipped in here. Hi. All right, my friend, I'm going to move you back into the studio. Thank you again for being here. So wonderful. And all right, guys, let me get this up here. We did that. Yes. And each year, and sometimes several times during the year, I will do an intensive transformational goal setting experience. And it's a 3-hour workshop. This particular workshop will have you set all your 2026 goals, put them in priority order, and guess what? You didn't know them when you came into the workshop. So it's extremely magical. And as we go out today, I'm going to play you the trailer for this. This is December 4th, Thursday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. via Zoom. There is a fee for this. And if the first thing you think is, I can't afford it, then this won't be the right year for you. Because if you want it, you'll find a way to pay for it. It's very reasonable. And I'm going to show you, and I'm so excited about it. Last year I did it and a lot of people were there. This is the only thing that I charge for, right, each year so far for this year. So I'm fortunate that I can do this. But if you've loved this and you want something deeper, richer, more magical, and connected to the universe, you'll want to be at this workshop. So you can scan the QR code, or my friends, you can watch as we close down this trailer, which explains a lot to you. I am so happy that you were here. Of course, on Friday at 10 a.m., we'll do Think and Grow Rich, the 12 Laws of Achievement, and finishing up our Q4 goal for the year. So with that, I will tell you all to have a phenomenal week. Easy enough to do, right? And with that, I'm going to play the promo I made. I'm kind of new to this, so be patient with me, about what you can expect at this event. Get out your phone for QR code. You'll also see that there's a really easy URL. You'll sign up on Zoom and I'll shoot you a quick invoice and we'll be done. So with that, let me give you this. Okay, everybody, have a great week.